Hello and welcome to this video series on Drupal. Now in this video we're going to continue with our setup of our membership site, and here we're going to do some configuring on our Amember script that we just installed. So this is how it comes out of the box, and you might want to maybe jot this down, bookmark this page, or just remember that this is the root URL of the script. And if you have one, this would be the secure root URL of your script, ending with the S, the HTTPS. If you don't, well, just slap it in there like it is with the HTTP. And again, like it says here, no trailing slash. And if this is not your admin email, because not everybody has Webmaster as their admin email, then just go ahead and put in whatever yours is, be it admin at or support at or your name at, whatever. Or you can go ahead and create an email address that is named webmaster at whatever your domain name is. And of course this here is an important part. This is going to get you logged into your Amember script, so be sure and write this down. Put it somewhere where you'll remember where it is. And of course you can always change this too. This is just how, like I said, comes out of the box. But I'll leave it at admin. And as far as password, let me see here. That should work. And then click on next. As you can see here, you got 4 steps. This is number 2. Now this one here is going to be it's going to require us to create a MySQL database. Now then, I've done this before on other videos, but we're going to go and tackle this again real quick. So we're going to head over to my cPanel, head on down to the MySQL database, and you can see here we've got the 2 existing databases from our creation of Drupal. And this was the manual install, and this was the Drupal Fantastical install, the easy install. So we're going to go ahead and create another one, and just real quick, and just name this one Amember. Make sure I spell it right this time. And don't forget, it's going to go ahead and tag on this prefix here, the P, whatever your prefix is, and go ahead and create database. Click on go back and come on down here and create the user for that. And as has been in the past, I'm just going to duplicate the name of the database for the username. Now in the password, do not follow in these footsteps, folks, because you want to make it something that's secure. And the word password is not a secure password. So just keep that in mind. So we got that. Oh, and just so that you know, for ease of copying, I went ahead and copied it all down in here, and we're going to need this too. This is the information from our Drupal site's MySQL database. And that's going to come in handy here in just a little bit. Whenever we go to sync or synchronize the Amember script to the Drupal site. And let's see what we got here. Now we've got this user, and we want to give this user permissions to this database. And instead of being selective, we're going to go ahead and give them all the permissions. So just as it is defaulted there, click on add user to database. Bada bing, bada boom. And let's head on back over to step 2. MySQL database, the username, password, and this might come in handy at some point in the future too. So if somewhere down the line you remember, if somewhere down the line somebody asked for the MySQL tables prefix, then this is what it's going to be. And I don't think they will actually, but we shall see. Copy and paste, and password is password. And step 3 is the easiest one. You just click this button right here. And step 4, we're good to go. Now then, of course you can read all this stuff here. It's always a good idea. But there's a couple of things left for us to do. Basic configuration of the script is done. Now we're going to actually get inside of the program of Amember and go ahead and cross some T's and dot some more I's. Now as it says here, a couple of things we need to do is to go into the utilities setup / configuration and take care of some things there. that's where we're going to sync the two together, the Amember script and the Drupal site. And that's where the database info for our Drupal site is going to come in handy. And also we need to set up one product. And when they talk about a product here, they're referring to the levels of membership insofar as the video is concerned. And then I mean, this script is just so cool. You guys are just going to flip whenever you see all the goodies you can do with this thing. Let's go ahead and log into the admin page. This is where our password is going to come in handy that we just put in a second ago. Admin. I'm not sure what that is, but we're going to go with whatever I put in there. Log in. And this is it, folks. You're going to get this error message pop up here saying that you have yet to create a product. And of course you can either just click there or you can just go over here to manage products. But we're going to get to that in another video coming up. But let's go ahead and take care of some of the setup and configuration, the rest basically of the configuring of our script, the basic configuration of our script. And this is how it comes up out of the box. The root URL, all this is fine here, just as it was earlier. Again, if you have a secure or an HTTPS URL, then that's what's going to show up here, the HTTPS. If not, then again, that's just fine. Now here you want to go ahead and change the name if you so desire, and I do. Oops. Because that's kind of the name of our site anyway. And the rest of the stuff here I find is pretty basic and it's fine, but I want to go over it with you real quick anyway. The sign up form configuration, generate login, I would say no, allow your users to do that, but again you may find the need to disallow this. Again, it's totally up to you. Minimum length, log, 4 is cool. Again, if it wasn't, then they probably would set this differently for the default, is my thinking on it. And do not allow space. Again, you may find a need for this. Again, I think that it's fine just the way it is. Generate password, just as the generate login, no, I'd say just leave it as is. Minimum length of the password, maximum length of the password, again, I find that all to be fine. Require unique email, I think that should be checked as it is. And this down here, the use address info, this is really out of all this stuff the only thing I would consider to possibly change, and I'm going to put yes optional. That way the fields will be there, and it's going to be somewhat suggested that the soon-to-be member fill in those blanks. Of course, you can make it required where they have to fill in the blanks, but that might deter some people thinking that, well, hey, this guy, going a little beyond the Call of Duty here, asking for all these details. But the only reason I would do this myself is because on my site I may be selling some physical products that would require to have the individual member's mailing address. Now then, if I already have it, fantastic, one step saved, I don't have to ask for it later on. But if you leave it as optional, then again, they may fill it out, they may not fill it out. But if they do not fill it out now, and once they are a member, then they will eventually, hopefully, feel comfortable in providing you with that mailing address if they so desire to purchase that physical product from you. And hopefully they will. But again, this is just something I wanted to point out that it is optional. It comes out as a default of no. You can leave it that way, but for what I'm going to do, I figure optional is cool. Again, that way the spaces are there where they can go ahead and enter the information if they so desire. Enable additional features. Now this is something that you can always come back and change at any time in the future, and that's the way I'm going to look at these 3 items here, because there are things that I'm going to be needing, except for the enable tax. I'm going to leave that alone. But the use of coupons, yeah, that's going to come in handy. Enable affiliate program, yep, that's going to come in handy as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save, and boom, everything's cool. Now up here at the top, just a quick rundown here. You can go through all of these, and I would suggest to do so. The languages, I would leave that alone, but you can see just how flexible this Amember script is. And there's additional plugins you can see right here. But again, for my use, English, that's good enough for me. You can go to ban users. You just put in their email addresses, and you can, if you've got their IP address. And likewise, again, another cool feature for the Amember script. And PHP include and HT password, a couple of good items to have. And down here at the bottom of each of these is some, I mean, if you know PHP, then that's fantastic. And since Amember is basically a MySQL/PHP script, then if you know both of those, then you can customize the heck out of this program. The additional plugins, and I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but the additional plugins are things that can add flexibility to your site. Well, you can also create your own plugins if you are knowledgeable of the PHP script, and since that's what the plugins are created from, are PHP scripts. Then the more you know about PHP scripts, then the more flexible your particular membership site can be. So again, PHP include has to deal with naturally adding some additional flexibility to your site. HT password, again, these are two items that I myself am not overly knowledgeable on, so I'm going to leave them the heck alone, but just wanted to point out that they are there for you. Now then, the plugins, that's what we want to end up with. Of course, so yeah, the email, again, just kind of show that to you as well here. Major configuration here, folks. I mean, you can go to town with this, and this is always a good idea for assisting in the upsell. So once you have the member and you've got their email address, then you can always either keep in touch with them to let them know of additions to your membership site, depending upon whatever level they are, and you can also provide them with upsell options. So let's say you come across a great promotional product and you want it only to be, you want to provide a good deal to one of your members on this level or that level, well, you're going to have those options right here. You can create specific emails for just that. So definitely check out this tab here whenever you get a chance. Now, plugins, trying to squeeze as much info here as I can into this. Little note here as far as setting up and testing, and we're going to have an entire video dedicated just to the testing of our site once everything's done. But right here, we want to be sure and check this guy whenever we get to that point. So we will get to that point. But the payment plugins, we're going to be checking this one and our PayPal, and always the ones that are already checked as default, leave them alone. Just leave them be. But under PayPal, that's going to be the payment processor of our choice, or my choice anyway. You got two of them, PayPal_Pro and PayPal_R. We're going to use the R. I'm guessing for regular. But for the sake of this video, though, we just want to check Drupal for our Protect plugins. As you can see, there's a couple other ones in here as well. We're going to leave those checked because they are the default checks. Now, that's basically all we want to do at this point as far as this page under plugins. And we click on Save. And going back up here at the top, and we'll see we've got another one added, that being for Drupal. So we'll go and click on that. And this is where we go to sync up our Drupal site with our Amember script. And right here, let's go to Yes. You see we added a few fields here. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. The way I'm going to show you is just one, and this is the way that I'm comfortable with doing it. So yeah, do it as you wish. But here we're looking for the Drupal database info, and as I showed you earlier, this is my Drupal database info. This is the name of the database, is the username, and this is the password. So I'm just going to copy and paste those people right in here. Copy, paste, and password is the password. Now, the one little thing here that took me a while to figure out is right here on the database name and prefix. Now, I don't have a prefix, but what I would suggest that you do, of course you can try it however you want, but simply, if nothing else, if you don't understand this, that's fine, just do what I do. At the very end of your database name, put a period there. Okay? Just put a period there. And if you know what I'm talking about, or I'm sorry, if you know what's going on here, hey, you're one step ahead of the game than I am. But I found that this is just what they're asking for, and it works. And you'll find out in a second whenever we go to click on Save down here, if we don't get an error message up here, then we're good to go. So let's do that. Oh yeah, and the database host name, that's going to be local, more times than not. Local host, actually, I believe it is. And let me see here. You can leave this field empty if a member's MySQL user is unable to connect to the Drupal database. You can enter the MySQL connection settings here. The field for the MySQL host name is localhost. Yep. So we'll just put in localhost, and that should do it just fine. And the base URL, what they're looking for here is the main URL right here. Go to copy and paste. And if you're wondering what I'm doing, then I'm just right clicking and then pasting. Now what it says here is we need to do this without the HTTP, so we can probably get rid of the / there and get rid of that, and gives you an example right here, the www. So let's go ahead and put in the www here, whether it needs it or not. Make it look like the picture over here, so to speak. Now then, cross our fingers, click on save, and hope for no error messages at the top. Voila, no error messages at the top. So we did everything right. And just to check this, let's head on over to Manage Products. Click on Add New Product. And this is another video we're going to get into later on, is where we go to add our products. Product, again, meaning the multiple levels. And we scroll on down here to the bottom, where it says Drupal Access, or Drupal Access, should show the levels or the roles that we created in our prior video. Bada bing. Gold, silver, admin, Steve, authenticated user. That should do it, folks. That brings us to the end of this video on the configuration of our Amember script and the introduction to some of the other tabs up there. Get back to what I'm talking about here. Some of these tabs here. And again, as you add plugins, and you'll see in our next video where we go to configure some of the payment processors and add more flexibility and functionality to our Amember script, that you're going to see additional tabs up here. So remember, play around with this, have fun with this. The worst case scenario, you screw everything totally up, you can always go back and delete your Amember script from your cPanel altogether and just reinstall it and start from scratch. So don't be afraid, you're not going to blow anything up. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.